And welcome back to Let's Play the Golden Axe Trilogy. This is part 3 of the series, and this is part 2 of this Let's Play. And last time, remember, if you do remember, I was fighting this caveman who somehow looked like he escaped the DC universe. So what's going to happen now, and who the hell is this guy? Well, let's find out, shall we? Yes, bring the thunder! Well, I'd say if that didn't knock your ass out, I know what will. And I kind of noticed that most of these... Damn. And you're blocking the kickflip. Wow. But you didn't block that. Wow. Awesome. So now that we have purified this guy, I'm so ashamed that I fell under their curse. I must beg your pardon. Well, that's no problem. You know, shit happens, alright. So now that we've purified him, we purified our comrade from this curse. And this is the map of the Eastland, and this will take us to Stage 3, the Cave of Crystal. Now, of course, like I said before, in previous Golden Axe games, the points don't really matter. It's like there's a ranking system. The ranking system doesn't even matter. This goes back to what I was saying before about ranking system, if I haven't said so. What's the point of it? It's like, saying you've beaten this game how many times, and you got this many points about it, and you got this many points for such and such. I mean, achievements are all fine and dandy, but don't make it a big thing. I mean, hell, I never made a big thing for me to actually go and say, oh, well, I'm playing this game just because I want to be the top man on the leaderboard. So many things I can point out to the past of video games compared to now. You know, the whole point of video games is just to have fun with it. It's not about, oh, high scores. It's not about downloadable content. And I'm hopping around like I don't know what. I did not know I could do that. Lunge kick. It's all in the mind. Yeah, if anybody can remember Parappa the Rapper, back in the early days of the PlayStation 2, you know, back before anything was, you know, thank you, and thank you. You know, back before we had all this, there you go. More liberation! As I was saying before we had all this new stuff, like going leaderboards and whatnot, if I remember correctly, this to me, I mean, I grew up during a different time. I grew up during the start of the 80s and the end of the 70s. So mind you, you're gonna have to respect my way of thinking here. But yeah, back in the days, the high score meant nothing. The high score only meant that, you know, people will watch you. They will root you on because you've never actually gotten this far, and this is like the only time that you will actually get up there. And you did it on 1/4. Yeah, back in the day in which games were really 1/4. 25 cents. That sort of thing. Yeah, that's the stuff I remember. I was a kid during that time. Yes! 5 lives, 5 save lives gives you an extra life. That works. To me, that works. You save a life, you get something for it. I kind of wish House of the Dead and Virtual Cop didn't have idiotic AI. Like, don't shoot me, and stay and you're still there in the way of the shot. But anyway, I digress. No one to save? Not this time around? You're kidding. Okay then. Well, that's decent. I can deal with that. No problem. As I was saying about video games, if anybody remembers The Last Starfighter, in which one small town boy actually not only beat the game, but set a record so epic that even the galaxy's not so finest, but the most shadiest of the galaxy's agents were looking into his skill. I mean, could you imagine that in today's world? I mean, imagine that today. I mean, an actual game that was considered so hard and so difficult that many people who have ever tried it could not beat it, but yet it took one guy from a town that has never been heard of, put a town on the map. Now, if that's not saying anything about what video games did in the 80s, imagine that now. Imagine if there was something like that now. Imagine that now. Wow. I don't think today's batch of gamers will probably even fathom the idea of, even if it was fictional, just picture it for a moment. An innate skill, and you have one game that you're naturally good at, and someone out there in the universe finds your skill extraordinary. Yeah, that's something to think about during this Let's Play. For those who watch my Let's Plays anyway. But I'm stating a point here about video games. I mean, I love video games, but... You know, be glad this game is played. That's my point. Be glad that somebody is playing a game in which probably nobody has ever heard of. Because like I said, you know, I play games and I like to beat them by any means. If that means I'll play them straight, I'll play them straight. If I can't beat it straight, then I'll resort to cheating. So now that we are here, facing the Shiva Minotaurs with a Zangief Lariat, well, we're just going to have to deal with them, aren't we? But first, I think we're going to have to deal with... We're going to have to deal with these... their henchmen first. Or not. Doesn't matter. The whole point is, you have to be agile in this fight. Really agile in this fight. Now, as you can see, I can still take damage by mere throws. So, therefore, you can see I am really taking some damage. So now that we have taken out the minions, let's take out these bosses, shall we? Well, this is what I can't do. The only way I can deal with them is, well, pass your son of a bitch aside and start kicking your ass. And there go one. I suppose if I had an analog joystick right now, it'd be easier for me to make dash attacks. But it's so hard to do it on something like a D-pad. So now, since these guys are staying around for a bit, well, now's a good time to recover some health and gather some magic. And take off for the next stage. And so, on the next video, we're going to take on Stage 4, Bloody Street. Oh, very good then. So, when we come back, we shall take on Bloody Street and beyond. So, please don't go anywhere. Or maybe get a snack or something. I don't care. But please come back for more of the Golden Axe Trilogy. Right after this.